Assalamu alaikum, brother. Just a notice. Because of construction, we had just make some temporary arrangement. So we give a shopping bag. We don't have a space that you block a space next to you. So try to put the shopping bag, near your feet area, so you're not taking the space. And the plan is that people who have a shopping bag, they can take exit from my right because there's a congestion over there. Either you could wait a couple of minutes, may Allah reward you for that, or you can take the exit from here if you have a shoes, and you can leave from that place. So Jazakallah khair, and we are sorry for this inconvenience, but we have to do it. We are trying to ready for Ramadan, inshallah. So it will be good in the long run. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, one more announcement. We hardly have like 15 minutes between the first and second Jummah. So try to see if you can move your car early so you can exit. So brother, for the next Jamaat, for next Salah can come in. The next Salah is supposed to be at 2. So it's a little tight. Jazakallah khair.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before we start, the normal usual request, if brothers inshallah can stand up in their lines. So, and if there are any spaces in the lines in front of us, please move forward quickly. Please move forward quickly, and once the line is complete, inshallah, we can sit down. Jazakallah, brothers. If there is any space, please move up. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لقد كان لكم في رسول الله أسوة حسنة لمن كان يرجو الله واليوم الآخر وذكر الله كثيرا. صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي رب زدني علما. My respected elders and brothers, almost a month ago in December, we started a topic, and the title of that topic was Islam is not just a religion, it's a complete way of life. We made this hadith the base of our topic, the hadith of Muslim. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to the nearest meaning, Al-Muslimu man salim al-Muslimuna min lisanihi wa yadihi, aw kama qal. A Muslim is one that other Muslims are saved from the harm of his limbs and from the harm of his tongue. And we mentioned, I'll quickly review in a couple of minutes what was discussed last time and then move forward. We had mentioned that the commentators say that we need to understand two underlying concepts of Islam. Then we will be able to fully understand and appreciate this hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What are those underlying concepts? Number one, Islam is not separate from our everyday life. It's rather Islam teaches us how to spend each and every moment of our life, from the morning till the evening, eating, sleeping, using the bathroom, going to work, ethics of neighborhood, ethics of business, everything is what Islam gives us. That's why we say Islam is not just a religion, it's a way of life. Second concept to understand is all the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are divided into 5 categories. If me and you are striving to integrate these 5 categories in our life, we are considered a complete Muslim in the sight of Allah. And if unfortunately me and you are discarding 1 or 2 or 3 of these categories and just focusing on 1 or 2, in the sight of Allah, we are an incomplete believer. We are an incomplete Muslim. What are those 5 categories? Aqa'id, that is our beliefs, our creed. Second is ibadat, our acts of worship. Third is mu'amalat, our dealings in everyday life with Muslims and non-Muslims, transactions of different type. Fourth, ma'ashara, Islamic social life, how we live in the house, how we deal with our neighbors, how we deal with our siblings, how we deal with our relatives, blood and non-blood. Fifth is Islam, inner ethics. One is outer ethics. One is inner ethics, being safe from jealousy, arrogance, animosity, malice, and grudge for others. So once these 5 things are there, nobody's perfect. We all need to try. We succumb to our desires. But at least we understand and we are trying, then alhamdulillah, we are trying to act upon the entire deen. If we are only focusing on tahajjud and salah and hajj and zakat, and our business is unfortunately not based on Islamic ethics, our dealings are not based on Islamic ethics, that no matter how famous we might be in the community, in the sight of Allah, we are considered incomplete. I'm saying a very heavy statement, but this is what the ulama tell us. This is what the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam tell us. Going forward, this was mentioned last time, and the third thing that was mentioned was our wrong dealings, un-Islamic dealings affect our salah also, affect our fasting also. Why? Because the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Inna Allah tayyibun, la yaqbalu illa tayyiba." Allah is pure and does not accept anything that is not pure. So if a haram morsel is going in my stomach, my income might be halal, but I purchased haram food from the market. It's going in my stomach. Or my income is haram and it's going in my stomach. Then the hadith says for 40 straight days, none of the du'as are accepted by Allah. Our fasting, our salah, our charity, our du'as, everything is wasted because of one single haram morsel. Okay? This is the meaning that our non-Islamic dealings or non-Islamic social life affects our ibadats also, affects our acts of worship also. This was where we stopped. Moving forward for today, a few examples that are across the board. With due respect, me, you, everybody here and there, we end up being part of it. And it's not just from the countries me and you come from, those who are sitting here. This is unfortunately wherever the Muslims live. And that these are very well-known examples and easy to understand examples how there are problems in our ma'amalats, in our dealings. In Surah An-Nisa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu. More or less meaning in English, O people who believe. La ta'kulu amwalakum baynakum bil batil. Do not eat, do not consume, do not use each other's wealth by false means, bil batil. What is the meaning of false means? Without consent, without permission, by deceiving him. Everything is considered in batil. إِلَّا أَن تَكُونَ تِجَارَةً عَن تَرَاضٍ مِّنْكُمْ. Except it is a trade that is mutually agreed between both of you. Except it is a dealing or a contract or a business that both of you are mutually agreed on, then it's fine, you can use and eat each other's wealth. So this is what this ayah tells us. The gist of this ayah, if you open up the books of tafsir and look for it, the gist of this ayah is deceiving someone, using someone's wealth, using someone's property without having the consent and permission. This is haram for us. This is not allowed for us unless it's mutually agreed. Examples. Now this is related to ma'amalat, dealings. I'll give a few examples on ma'asharat also, moving forward whenever the next turn comes, inshallah. This is an ongoing topic. Whenever the time allows us, we'll speak about it. A father builds a business. He has 3 sons. The sons are going to school. They eventually go to college. Then one by one, they start participating in that business. When the first son enters, what's the agreement between the father and the son? Is he entering as a partner? Or is he entering as a salaried employee? Or is he just doing ihsan with his father and he's helping him out? And the father says, whatever you need at the end of the month, just ask me. You don't have to pay the bills, you live in my house. You don't have to buy groceries, your mother does this. You just ask me for the pocket money. Okay? I'm just giving 3 easy, practical scenarios. What are the terms that the father is taking this incoming son in the business? Has the father ever thought of this? Has the son ever asked his father? The experience is, the reality is, the son is also ashamed, the father is also embarrassed. How should I lay the terms? This is where the problem begins. The famous principle in Arabic is ta'asharuk al-ikhwan, ta'amaluk al-ajanib. You should live like brothers, but you should deal like strangers. You should live like brothers, but you should deal like strangers. भाइयों की तरह रहो लेकिन अजनबियों की तरह मामला करो. If I take a loan from my real blood brother, Deen says I should write it down on a piece of paper. If a witness is possible, get a witness sign on it. You want to notarize it? Very good, go ahead and notarize it. So my and his sons and daughters will not fight after I pass away from this world that my uncle or your father took loan from my father and he hasn't returned it. And this is the reality in every other house today. Someone, the Imam Sahib tells us this, that we are doing this. The questions comes, Imam Sahib, ye kaisi baat kar rahe hain aap? Oh, Imam, what are you talking about? He's my real brother. How could I even write a contract with him? Allah knows our mentality. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given us these teachings. Okay. So it's not finalized. The first son enters, the second son enters, the third son enters. Business grows. And then nobody knows whose share is what unless it's written down. The father passes away. How will the business will now be distributed? I'm just giving hints. I'm not going into details. The business continues. All three brothers get married. Their children grow up. One brother wants to wrap up the business. He says, okay, give me my share. The other two brothers said, what share are you talking about? We gave you a salary. We shared the profit at the end of the month. What share are you talking about? Now that brother goes to the mufti of the town or goes to the imam of the community. Now this is such a complex mas'ala that the imam will have to ask him and go all the way back to the root cause, that when you entered the business of your father, what was the deal? Another example, father builds a house. The daughter, son, everybody's living in the same house. The daughter gets married, leaves the house. Or maybe the daughter also paid a few installments. The son starts working, the sons start working, they also pay the installments. Now the question is, does the house belong to the father? Or is the father giving a share in the house to all the brothers also? Has he clarified this thing in his will? The son and the daughter can stand up, say, I contributed 20% of the house. This belongs to me. Nothing is cleared. The father passes away. Or not even the father passes away. You get married, you have kids. How long are you going to live in the same house? How many floors are you going to build on it? Eventually, one son leaves. He says, give me something so I can buy my own house. Now the problem is, what are you talking about? This is the father's house. It doesn't belong to you. You're not getting any share of it. Okay? The father is alive. So these are the scenarios that fit in this ayah of the Quran, that where we are eating each other's wealth without their permission, without their consent. Maybe it belongs to them, but we are usurping it because we don't know the ruling of deen. A father passes away or a mother passes away. This is the third example. Inheritance is not distributed right away. Back home, you would have heard these examples, and unfortunately, it happens here also. Father passes away, life goes as usual. Mother passes away, life goes as usual. At a certain point, one relative stands up, one son or daughter stands up and starts fighting for his or her inheritance. Now the question arises, we didn't even distribute the wealth of the father. Then the mother. I'm just giving you an example of how the pious people are careful regarding it. The first Grand Mufti of Pakistan, Mufti Muhammad Shafi rahimahullah, Pakistan got independence from the British in 1947. He was the first Mufti. And his son is still alive. The world knows him by the name of Shaykhul Islam, Mufti Taqi Usmani Hafizahullah. One of the greatest living scholars of the Muslim world, an expert in Islamic jurisprudence and an expert in Islamic Sharia compliant finance. He himself writes in his books that when my father was on his deathbed, in the last days of his life, he limited himself to a room where he used to rest also, where he used to write the books also, where he used to issue the fatwas also. Whenever it was time for breakfast or lunch or dinner, we used to take it from the kitchen. He didn't used to come out in the dining room and eat with us. We used to take it there. And when it was done, he expected from us that we take out the tray and the plates and the glasses right away. If ever I got late, Shaykh Taqi Usmani Hafizahullah is saying, if ever I got late, he got angry on me. Ke waqt pe bartan kyun nahi uthaye? Why didn't you pick up the utensils on the time? So once I asked my father that this is not, in other words, this is not something big. Sometimes I'm busy in the madrasa work, in the masjid work. If I get late, why do you get annoyed on this thing? Now this is the key word to listen. He said, I have written in my will that after my death, whatever is in my room belongs to me. This is my umilkiya, this is my ownership. Whatever is in the remainder of the house belongs to my wife. So these utensils don't belong to me. If I pass away in a state that something that doesn't belong to me and stays in my room, when the inheritance will be distributed, you will distribute this also, though it belongs to your mother. This was the minute realization and carefulness and diligence that our pious predecessors understood from the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, these are enough examples. I'm not lecturing any one of you. First of all, it's for me and all of us. We go home today. We ask ourselves, where do I stand if I have a business? Where do I stand if I build a house? Where do I stand if someone just passed away from my family and the inheritance has not been distributed? My respected elders and brothers, intentionally or unintentionally, mostly people don't do it intentionally. Intentionally or unintentionally, we are consuming haram by these three examples. And if this haram is going in us, it's affecting our salah also, it's affecting our ibadats. I'll stop here and then inshallah next time move forward. Whatever was said and heard, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding of these things. Ameen.